Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Aunt Becky. I'm Megan.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Sophie.
I'm Toddy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
I'm yours.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of things on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. I'm on my way down to the farm market and I just had to stop and admire the wall right away. As of one day, it has not been hit yet, which that's pretty nice. But like I said, it's been one day, and if it gets hit, I'll update you. It better not get hit today. We're just getting right into the chores this morning. We're gonna get the farm market all set up and then get those animals taken care of. Farm market is now all set up and Dad just got back from the wholesaler. So we're working on getting his truck unloaded. We'll get everything filled up and then once we're done, we'll be moving on to other jobs. First thing I wanted to do right away was head up to the germination greenhouse and just make sure it's not too hot in here. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty spicy in here. The sun's been out all morning. When you have the sun out, it really heats up these greenhouses. I mean, it's true that we need it warm in here, but we don't need it over 100 degrees, which is what we're dealing with right now. The stuff that's germinating will be fine, but I worry about these plants that have come up quite a bit. Even though it is really hot in here, these eggplants and peppers that we had seeded, they should be okay. We just need it to cool off a little bit. And that's one of the best ways to explain why we go and check greenhouses every morning. We have one more day of cold temperatures. It's gonna be tonight, so we can't bring too much stuff out. But Matt has just brought up some tomatoes and other plants from down around back. And I'm making my way down there to help get the animals all taken care of. We just got finished taking care of all of the animals. Daniel and Dad got the cattle all bed up. They also fed the cattle. And then we spent some time feeding the chickens and we also got the eggs collected. And now we're taking a few boxes of eggs upstairs. And you would be surprised how heavy a box of eggs is.
No, I'll go up on top. You stay here.
How are we doing this?
I go.
You know what you're doing? All right, I'll get down low. Dad says he knows what he's doing, so we're just gonna let him do it. We have this open area here where we stack the straw against, but since we're gonna start getting busy again, we wanna close this off. So we're gonna put 2 pallets here and then screw them fast. Not that anybody would walk off this side, but we still gotta be careful. We don't want anything to happen. Now that Dad and I are in the truck, we're gonna head down to the barn and grab some of that straw. Now one thing you don't want is to fall off the straw pile. Thankfully I'm only half up, but you still don't want to fall off. We have all different types of straw in this barn. We have wheat straw, oat straw, and rye straw. And you don't harvest all 3 at the same time, so you have different pockets of different types of straws. But there is still a few thousand bales in here, which we're gonna continually work on selling. Now that it's warming up, as I mentioned, this stuff's gonna start selling a lot faster. And we do have a few larger orders that are gonna come in, which will really help clean out this barn. And we have to get moving on this because time is running out. We're gonna have to fill this barn back up again with our wheat straw, oat straw, and rye straw. And something else. You have to be very careful working in here because there's sometimes precious cargo. Hi, Mama. I'm just looking, Mama. You're okay. You gotta be very careful. Very, very careful. I hear peacocks. before we head back to the farm, we're already pretty close to the fields, so we're gonna take a little detour just to see how the peas are coming up. And if we're all the way out here, we should definitely drive past the sweet corn, see how this stuff is looking. I'm seeing a lot of green under the mulch there. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's starting to break up, which is nice. As we get these sunnier days, that's really gonna break up that mulch. Yeah, the sweet corn's looking good. Look at that. Wow, 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 wow. That's beautiful. So this was the first planting. And as you can see, we're getting some nice size to that stuff. Let's also walk down and check on the second planting.
See, right there's one coming up.
Look at that.
Right there's one.
Oh, I see it. Woo, look at that. Now at the second planting, we're seeing it just poking out of the soil in some spots, which is what we want. That means that this sweet corn will be 2 to 3 weeks behind that other sweet corn, which by the time we finish harvesting our first planting, that means our second planting will be just ready. And with the warmer days and the longer days, more sunlight, that second planting will actually catch up a little bit. So it'll actually close that 3 weeks closer to 2 by the time we're harvesting, which when it comes to sweet corn, that's what we want. We want our plantings to bump right up against one another. The only thing that concerns me is this is the last night that we're gonna have colder temperatures. We've been forecast that it's supposed to warm up quite a bit, but you can never be 100% sure. So we are gonna be concerned a little bit, but hopefully things will continue to gradually warm up. If things just continue to gradually warm up, well, we should have no issues. Leftover straw there from the last time we moved up bales, and it rained on a lot of it, and we don't want it to start smelling up there, so I'm bringing the skid steer loader around so we can get it all cleaned up. It looks a lot nicer up here than it did before. We got almost a full bucket load on the skid steer loader. So we're gonna take that out of here, and then we'll stack the straw right here.
He wants to put them out tomorrow.
Plum. Sweet Million, I already took one of those over. Red Deuce. Red Deucer there, I'll just set that down. There was a little gap between the vehicles and I was able to get the skid steer loader out, but there's still not enough room to back the truck in, so I've got to wait a little bit longer. But now I'm just helping Dad and the other boys by bringing some stuff up. Most of the inventory will stay in the greenhouse, but we do bring some stuff up in front of the farm market. Our goal this year is to try and get a lot more people into the greenhouses. We usually have a lot of inventory up in front of the farm market, but if we can get everybody into the greenhouses, it makes a lot less work for us. We don't have to move everything up. Now, we still are taking stuff up, but it's just something that we're gonna be working on this year. Well, we were able to make a little bit of room and we were able to squeak the truck by. So all the straw that we have on the truck, that's gonna be moved right here. Now, we only put 25, 30 bales on, but the time will come where we just bring an entire stacked wagon of straw up. For now, 25, 30 bales is good. There we go. That looks a lot better. We have plenty of straw now. The only thing that makes me laugh is the amount of time it took us just to get the straw on the porch because of all the customers that we had. Not that we're complaining. We like having customers. We got the truck moved out. I got everything cleaned up and we did it just in time because, well, tractor trailer just showed up. We were waiting on some seed corn and I think that's the truck that it's on. So hopefully that'll be the last of the corn seed that we need. We've been very busy this morning and all of us have been running in different directions. So they asked me to come down and check on these plants. We weren't sure if they needed to be watered yet, and I am seeing some dry spots here. When it comes to watering dry spots, you can move pretty quick, which is nice, but you do have to keep a close lookout because we don't want to miss anything. Because if we miss anything, we'll be paying for it later. It's pretty easy to see the dry spots just from the discoloration in soil, so that's usually what we're just being concerned with. But sometimes we do have to do a little closer look, because if everything still looks wet, well, we don't want to water, but we have to do some investigating. We have to move the soil around, we have to pull some of the plants out. But this stuff seems to be okay. I'm just hitting all the dry spots right now. This is one of those jobs you will see plenty of, and we get tired of it fairly quickly. But we don't have to do it forever. That's the nice thing about farming. You don't do the same job forever, except for maybe like feeding animals and like setting up the farm market. I mean, we do that every day, but that's fun, you know, that's enjoyable. I just got finished watering in greenhouse number 4 and greenhouse number 5. Before I go though, there are a few spots that really need to be watered on the wagon, so we'll hit these and then we'll go for lunch. Now we can go for lunch, and then once we're finished, we'll water the rest of the wagon and we'll check on greenhouse number 6. Alrighty. Ooh, let's see what we're having for lunch today. It looks like Grammy's got chicken noodle soup, and she's also making some burgers. Oh yeah, that's a good sound. I just got finished eating lunch and I'm down around back again. Dad beat me down here. He started watering the wagon. I never got on this side of the wagon to check. Was it pretty dry over here?
The edges are dry, so I just started.
Yeah, this is what you gotta watch out. This is what you gotta watch out for. That's really dry. Oh, you gotta water that again. I took it out. You gotta water right there, boss. Right there. Oh, come on, you missed it. There you go. Last greenhouse that needs to be watered is greenhouse number 6. Now there's a lot of flowers in here. I don't really need to worry about those, but there's also a lot of our stuff. So we have some peppers that we need to water, and there's a few stuff in packs here that needs to be taken care of. And just like that, all of the greenhouses are now watered. Now right away this afternoon, Daniel left with the truck. He was going to pick up some fertilizer. Now the fertilizer that he picked up, we're hoping to use that for potatoes. We're gonna try and get potatoes planted at the start of next week. We're not 100% sure if it's gonna happen, but we're gonna try. So if things continue to go well, that may be something that we're looking to do next week. But we just gotta wait, we gotta be patient, because things can always come up. We've been spending a lot of time up here in front of the farm market helping customers, and there's just cars parked everywhere, which is a good sign. I enjoy seeing all the customers again, and everybody's happy to be back. I am currently looking for some spray paint because we wanna spray something so that it's a little easier to see. I'll have to get other paint and do it, because it's just not. We have a little slope here we don't want anybody falling on, so I just put spray paint on it. Uh-oh, we got someone down here trying to take flowers. What are you doing, miss? What are you doing? There you go. You take the camera, you film.
Okay.
Callie and I are taking a little break from work. She needed to go for a ride in the side-by-side, right? You having fun? Say wee! Yeah. I just came back to help Daniel hook up his disc. You heard me mention earlier on, we want to get started with potatoes here soon, and Daniel's going to be working up the ground for that. You know, if I had to pick one crop that we're putting some extra effort into this year, it would be potatoes. And if you've been with the channel for some time, you've actually seen that play out over the past couple years, that potatoes have been something that's been a high priority for us. One thing we've done to help produce a better potato crop for ourselves is go out and purchase a new planter. Now, it's not brand new, but it is new to us, which we're okay with, and it's a 4-row potato planter. Now, potatoes have always been a crop that we've raised, and for the farm, it can bring in a good deal of profit. But the old planter we had was not doing a very good job, and we were struggling with raising potatoes. Since potatoes are such an important part of the farm, we've been trying to do our best to increase our potato harvest and our potato profits, basically. And if that meant taking a look at our planter and taking a look at the way we harvest, well, that's what we had to do. And for the past few years, we've been working on it. So Daniel is gonna stay here for now, and he's gonna continue working ground. And then hopefully, if the weather cooperates, we'll be putting potatoes into soil on Monday. I'll tell you what, guys, this is a lot easier than transplanting out of the 512s. Just filling in a few of these, I could do this for a lot longer than doing the 512s. So that's a lot of transplanting. We got all the eggplant moved out of the germination greenhouse, and then we grabbed some peppers, and we also grabbed some peas and beans. This stuff was getting a little too tall, so we just didn't want it in there for the weekend. So we're taking it down below. We just got everything pulled off the wagon. A bulk of the stuff went into greenhouse number 6. We had a few trays that we moved into greenhouse number 5, and then the rest went into greenhouse number 4. It's getting to the point where a lot of these greenhouses are almost full, but greenhouse number 6 still has plenty of room, but all the way at the end was where we put the peppers and the eggplant that we brought down. On the way up, I'll show you a few things that we had to do. One big thing was take a lot of them down around back. So all the tomatoes that we had brought up, we took down around back. And then the other thing is the stuff that we didn't want to take down around back, we covered that can't handle the cold. So everything else should be okay up here. But this is hopefully gonna be our last cool night for a really long time, and then everything should be a lot warmer. And that brings us up into the house tonight, and as you can see, there's no dinner on the table. That's because it's date night, and since it's date night, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!